Good morning, ladies. I'm going to wait just a little bit for people to jump on. Hi, Julie.
Morning.
Good morning. Well, here it's 11. I don't know where you're at, but it's almost afternoon for me, although I just woke up.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, California.
Oh, yeah, so it's still morning for you. Well, good morning.
Good morning. It's my last day of vacation, so.
Yay, enjoy. And here you are ready to do some work.
I am.
Yay.
And I text my team, but you know.
Oh, well, good.
I love the rock wall. That's beautiful. Where are you at again?
I'm actually in Florida. This is my niece's house, so that's her pretty wall.
Oh,
Look
I
how
love
cute
that.
picture is with her family. They're so adorable.
Oh, cute. My daughter does photography in Hawaii, so I get to see a lot of that.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
She
There's a lot of weddings and stuff. It's fun.
Let me get some light on in here.
They have a cute little house. I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some. It's kind of gloomy today. So I don't know if it's dark in here or not, but it feels kind of gloomy.
Yeah. That's how it is in my house, too. It's not bright yet.
No. It's a gloomy day.
A good day to work.
Yes, that's what I figure. It's a good day to work. I mean, it's always a good day to work, but one of these type of days, it's a good.
Yeah, the sun doesn't call you to go play.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Unless I get a call. I'll try to see if I put a light on here. If it'll be a little better.
But I've been super busy. It's so exciting.
Yeah?
Yes.
So business has been crazy busy?
Yeah, it's a little crazy because I'm not used to that anymore.
Well, good though.
I know. It's like, could every day please be like this?
Yeah. That's awesome. I love busy times. I actually do really well under pressure. Well,
I do, but I've been doing the cycling, so I haven't been taking my control. I've been taking the now see, it's escaped me.
like the True Weight and Energy or something?
The balance. Mm-hmm. And so I have ADHD, and so the control helps me a lot. Really? Yeah, in fact, when I do this cycle, I can't do very many days. I have to do like a Friday and a Monday, because if not, I'm a mess at work.
What do you mean you do a cycle? What does that mean? What do you mean?
Well, there's one thing where they do the fix and the control for 3 weeks. And on the 4th week, they do balance and fix and our heart and hydration. And it helps with continuing to lose, because I keep plateauing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Well,
does push
if it's working
it
for you,
working.
then
Yeah, it's working.
keep going. I've never heard
Yeah.
that, but you know, that's great to know. And if it's working for you, then you keep on
Yeah.
doing
I'll have to send you, there's a little calendar that she has out. I don't know who did it even. I don't remember who said that they started that, but
it.
so I just tried it because I was trying everything to push me through the plateau,
Yeah.
and it was the only thing that's worked. So
Well, awesome.
yeah,
Good for you. Yes, send it to me.
yeah.
That would be amazing. Okay, I also put the chat on because sometimes when so I had to click it over. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. There's a chat over there. Let me make sure I'm not ignoring anybody. And mornings are usually fairly mellow when we do. It seems like when I do the evening ones, it's like there's tons of people. So I'm sure I'll be able to keep up with it in the mornings because I think there's only a few of you. There's like 8 of you guys on here right now. So, Margie said she'd like to see it too. I know, I wish that like we could put, well, I guess you can attach a file on here.
I don't know how to do it here.
It's okay. You can send it to me if you want. And then, I don't know if that's Margie. I can't see the last name, but anyways, if anybody needs it, just let us know.
Yeah, I'll send it to you and then you can file it.
11:08. So let's get to doing some work. So I'm gonna mute you, Julie, just in case anybody, if you guys need anything in between, like put it in the chat and I can unmute, but I'll just mute so it doesn't get, distorted. And then if anybody needs anything, just let me know. Awesome. Okay, so I have literally not done a whole lot yet. So I'm basically going to work with you guys and we're gonna just kind of do all this together. So I just pulled out one of my DMOs. I have a couple different ones that I go by and it really just depends on what's going on. This one I just redid January 22nd. Like I have it in my notes and I redo stuff as I need for different purposes because if I have extra things I add in or take away, like if we're doing some type of contest or challenge or something that I'm doing, I might need to like change out some things in my DMO if I have like a particular goal that I'm aiming for. So I might have to do some different things. So I encourage you guys, if you are not using, oh, okay, Margie, I kind of thought that was probably you, but I wasn't sure because, there could be, let me make sure this is not a call from my kids. Hello? Hello? Sorry, guys. Real life. So now my notes are gone because they were on my phone and my daughter's calling. So she's getting her dad. Anyway, so no. My daughter likes to try to come home almost every day. So we're in Florida, so we're so not used to like the bugs. Okay, we got a couple more of you guys jumping on, so I'll just wait a minute. Anyways, a lot of like mosquitoes and things that we're not used to. And so like she had like a mosquito bite. What was she saying?
She just said, my stomach hurts and I have a headache and basically everything's broken in my body and I just think I'm dead. Like, actually, you're not. So I was like,
I don't know if you guys have any of those ones, but literally, I'm not kidding you guys. She was trying to come home the other day because she had.
I was like, did they take your temperature? She goes, well, I'm not in the clinic. I'm in the arbor. I'm like, oh,
because she had a mosquito bite. I'm like, Carson, you cannot come home from a mosquito bite. You're totally fine. Okay, got my phone back. Okay. So I'm literally going to help shrink down my screen a little and get back to some morning stuff. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So what I do every mornings are pretty much the same things. I have switched it up a little bit. And like I was saying, if you guys do not have like a DMO that you're following, you really, really need to, because especially if you're a mom like me, or just busy, or you're at work and you're scattered all over the place, it's super easy for the day to go by and for things to happen. You're completely thrown off track if you don't have something to focus back on. I mean, look, like I'm trying to do this and I have a kid calling from school and this and this. There's always stuff happening. Life doesn't stop happening just because you work from home. And I think a lot of times it's actually, harder for us per se. I mean, it's easy or whatever if you're working from home, because you do have the luxury of being at home and choosing your workspace and whatnot, but you don't have, like, you're not clocking in, you don't have somebody over your shoulder telling you what to do and reminding you that you have to show up. You have to have, you have to be self-motivated in some way, shape, or form. You have to be the one to choose to show up, and that can be kind of tough. And so having like a daily DMO that you follow and that you can constantly update or change around as you need, because it works for whatever you have going on in your, thank you, honey, at, your life at that time, it just makes a more focused work space or whatever. It just makes it happen more. So, okay, so usually when I wake up, and it's crazy because we all say, you shouldn't just wake up and grab your phone and check your messages, right? Disciplined, and I think the thing is we need to make sure that we're trying to be intentional with what we're doing with our work. I think that was the word I was looking for, because I think, like, you have to have a goal, like if you guys haven't, written down your goals, small weekly goal, daily goals, a daily DMO, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. If you have a goal, then, and you can break it down smaller, the thing is then you can intentionally work towards that goal. If you're just kind of flopping out there and just shooting in the wind, and listen, I do that. I like fly by the seat of my pants sometimes, or whatever that phrase is. And sometimes I have to really come back to it, but that's why I have to have some type of structure, because otherwise I could be all over the freaking place. Promise you, I'm a mess. So anyways, I was always like, wake up, grab your phone, check your messages. But, there's something like that I think is super important, and it's something that I really want to make sure I'm implementing into my business. And because I think a lot of times we don't realize how actually important it is. And, one of my mentors said that, and this is not something that I've started doing every night. It's something that I need to start doing every night, and I want to start doing every night. So that way you kind of wake up like in a different mind space. But one of my mentors, was talking about how, like we might sleep, we might go to bed, but your brain actually never sleeps, it's going. So even when we're sleeping, like how many times have you fallen asleep, with like the TV on, and you're dreaming about stuff that's like kind of happening on the TV or whatever? Like, listen, don't ever be tricked. Don't ever dream that you're swimming in a pool or anything else. But, so like one of my mentors said, like he would put, like headphones on, or have something playing like right alongside him, like some type of personal development, empowerment thing, whatever it is he was trying to feed his brain while he slept. So he would wake up, do you know what I mean? Like with his mind just filled with things that are positive and things that are motivational and things that are encouraging or whatever. And so I think, if you're somebody who, prays, reads the Bible, whatever, wake up and do that, or wake up and, try to do something to like set your brain space to like a positive mindset. And it's something, listen, I'm saying this even to myself, because even though I know it's something I should be doing, it's not something I always do. And I need to, and it's something that I'm intentionally going to make the effort to start doing. So wake up and actually put yourself in a really good state of mind where you're fueled up, your cup is full, so you can basically start your day with a full cup. So anyways, after that, I always get in. And so I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys, I don't know if you either run your own group or if you have an upline who has a training group, but it's something that I know that like, I think my team should always do, because I always put stuff in one place. If you have like a large organization, I mean, or even like, you know, you're just starting, you want to have one place of contact where you can put all your information so that way you know like that your team is getting like all this information. And so, you know, a team group is something that's important because, you know, if there's corporate updates, if there's, you know, your upline's doing a contest or there's something going on, you have a place where people can see that. And everybody should know to, you know, make sure that they get into that place. So first things first is I would encourage you guys, if you have not checked your uplines group, ours is a fearless training group, to do that. That would, you know, get in there. So if there's any, you know, corporate updates, anything that needs to be looked over, and go do that. And then I respond to all my messages. So I kind of check my folders. So let's take a minute and just make sure that we're like, you know, that you've checked your uplines group, that there's nothing you need to know, no corporate updates today or whatnot, anything that they've done. And then let's check our messages for a few minutes and then respond to all of our notifications. When you guys are done with that, just put done. I mean, there's not a ton of you guys in here. I think there's like 17. So I'll be able to see, you know, kind of a good idea when everyone's done. So check the groups. If you run your own group and you're in some type of corporate group that makes announcements, maybe go in there and see if there's anything you need to update into your training group. And then let's check our messages and notifications. And I'm actually going to do it as well. Dang, Kelly. Kelly, where are you at? Are you on the East Coast, the West Coast? Where are you from? Or where are you living, I should say? Minnesota? You guys, I wake up to so much stuff. So I won't go through this all. If you guys are all kind of done, I already kind of went through that kind of stuff. I'll stop. Done. Okay, because a lot of you guys are done, so I'm not gonna go through all that. Okay, so if you guys are cold marketing, then let's go ahead and, so either it's gonna be 11:20, almost noon, your time, if you're over on the same timeline as me, or it's going to be early. So if you are cold marketing and you have not already posted some type of ad, let's go and post 3 cold market ads. Don't do any more than 3. I get nervous, you know, and make sure, like I said, you know, that you're doing something before. So like, you know, Kelly, and you might already have this down pat, but obviously, you know, like I like to make sure that I'm doing things. Like when I was doing things on Facebook before just go posting ads, so that way it didn't get flagged. It just seems when you're interacting, doing different things, you know, sending some messages, checking some notifications and responding, that then when you go post, it just seems like you know, you're trying to kind of break up like the algorithm. So you're kind of doing some different things. So if anything, maybe go comment on a couple people's posts or something. So let's make sure that we're doing that. If you guys are cold marketing, make sure you get your afternoon post in there. So 3 cold market posts. And if any of you guys have something that you feel like is working really good, that you think is a great post that's just super lit right now, you can post it in the comments I mean, I always believe, you know, in supporting each other and helping each other. I know some people want to keep, like, they figure out something good and they want to keep it to themselves, but I really honestly have always been one that thought, you know, what comes around goes around. And, you know, when you give love, you get love. And so that's just not me. That's my heart. If I know something's working and I know something's good, I'll be the first to share it. So, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're on my team. I don't care if you're not on my team. That's a good one. That's a good one, Emily. Awesome. So we have people getting done. So did everybody post in 3 groups if you're cold marketing? Let's just call this your afternoon post. When I first started, I would post a few in the morning, I would post a few in the afternoon, I would post a few in the evening, and I always kind of kept track on hot times in those groups. So if I was in a group and was posting in there and it just blew up and it was a great thing for one, I would keep track on what exactly I posted in there. And then I would keep track of like when the time was, what day it was, because there was something that, you know, caught the attention, whether it was just the post was super hot or the timing was good or whatever. But if like I had tons of people and it happened to, I mean, it's usually wrapped around some type of weight loss. Now we're really sharing for people to get into our groups for recipes and exercises. But if I, you know, posted in a particular town and it just blew up with weight loss and I just got so many people interested, I would literally take up that town's name and I would search everything, you know, if it was, I don't know, whatever town, but I would be basically that town classifieds, that town yard sales, that town shop and swap, that town, you know, whatever it is. And I would try to join everything around that town just because in my mind, I always thought like something's going on here and these people are super, super interested. So I don't know, maybe it's just in my head, but that is what I did. So if I had a hot one, I would definitely try to like, I'm like, that is a hot area. Maybe it was just a hot group. Maybe it was just the timing, but I try to pay attention because again, you want to be intentional with what you're doing. You know, your time is your time and you want your time to be effective. So if you're doing ads, I mean, if you're posting in the same group and nobody's ever commenting, you're posting at the same time, you know, the same day, the same type of ad, and nobody's commenting, you're actually wasting your time. It's not doing you any good just because you're posting something. You know, you want to be intentional with what you're doing and you want it to make sense. And, you know, ultimately this is your business and you're trying to grow your business. You're trying to make money. And so, you know, just kind of really be super mindful of that. And yeah, so it's kind of my little food for thought. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so let's send 2 friends requests to people on the you may know list, but make sure they're not friends with like another team member. You know, if there's somebody else on your team or, you know, they're friends like tons of True Vision people, don't do that. You know, your goal is to ultimately make friends with new people. You know, my mentor always says, you know, the person with the most eyes in front of their product wins. And if you really think about that phrase, it's super true. We are network marketers. We are basically trying to get people in front of our product, in front of our opportunity. And so literally the person with the most eyes in front of their product wins. And that just means that, you know, like your goal, your job is to get eyes in front of what you have. And so if you're just accepting all these friends requests from all these different True Vision people, especially not in your organization, it's silly because Facebook only gives you 5,000 friends. I know because I tap out constantly and then I have to go through my friends list and I have to try to figure out like, okay, who hasn't been active? Who should I delete? Who should I move around? And it's really a pain because in the beginning, I just accepted friends requests from everybody. So I was excited and I'm like a lover. I want to be friends with everybody. But in the end, it ended up really biting me in the butt because I have new team members that I try to add, and then I have to remove people, and it just is crazy. When literally, if you want to be friends with somebody, you could say, hey, I need to save room on my Facebook for new team members and potential customers. So why don't you follow me and I'll follow you back? So we'll follow each other and we'll still see each other's stuff. I mean, it's the same concept. You're not going to miss what they're doing. They're not going to miss what you're doing, and you guys can see each other. So I would say do that. And in the meantime, let's build new relationships and get new people in front of what we're doing. So go to where it says you may know list, look through a little bit. You know, sometimes I would click on people and, you know, kind of look through their Facebook and, you know, just kind of get a feel for like, you know, their vibe, you know, kind of get a feel for their vibe. And, you know, if you're kind of vibing with them or if they look like somebody, I mean, that sounds really terrible, but like that, you know, maybe would be interested or benefit, you know, are they a mother? So maybe they need a little side income, you know, do you feel like maybe they could benefit from some of your weight loss supplements? I mean, it is what it is, you know, so, and then, you know, just kind of add them, you know, and there's not even anything wrong with, you know, like, you know, if you see somebody and you're totally vibing with them, why not, you know, add them as a friend and then send them a message, say, hey, Facebook suggested us to be friends. So I clicked on your profile and look, and I just totally feel like your vibe is, you know, totally awesome and we would get along. I mean, it's a great way to basically, you know, get in. You know, it's basically a great way to get in with somebody and to connect with somebody and talk to somebody. You don't look like a total creeper. Like, listen, Facebook, like, they referred you, you know what I mean? So you can say, hey, you know, Facebook, you know, suggested that we be friends, and I looked at your Facebook and it totally looks like we would vibe and we'd get along good. So, I mean, it's just a great way to get in with somebody. Okay, so something else that if you guys are not already doing, which I really, 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 really hope you guys are doing this, because it's been something that's been super important in my business, and it's been something that I do now. That I started in the beginning. I still do it now. I don't cold market the same way that I used to before, but this is something that I still do. So I still build relationships because we are network marketers, you guys, and network marketers is all about word of mouth and connection and relationships. We are in a very, very relational business, you know? So, I mean, you can have people on your Facebook, you could have 5,000 people on your Facebook, but if you're not connecting with people and you're not building relationships, you're not really building a business. You're not going to do yourself a service, because people want to do business. They want to do this type of at-home business because it's, you know, kind of more personal. You're not like in an office, you're with a team, you're with people, you know, and people want to do it with people that they connect with and that they have relationship with, and they kind of feel some type of trust or respect for or something, you know? And so I work really super hard, and, you know, you might call it friendship groups, you might call it interest groups, you might call it relational groups. I've heard people say all different ways. I call them friendship groups because my goal is to make friends. So if you know, are cold marketing and doing everything else and you're not working in any type of friendship interest groups, put it in the chat, because then I'll kind of go into that a little bit more and why it's, to me, super, super important. Especially with the way Facebook changes things with cold market a lot. I like to make sure that I have many angles, because what I want you guys to remember is cold marketing is not network marketing. It's a tool. So a lot of times people think that posting in groups is network marketing. That's what it is. That's literally a tool. That's what it is. Network marketing is word of mouth and building relationships and getting people in front of your product. It's selling products from your home. It's selling products, you know what I mean? It's like a one-on-one type thing. It's basically you become a store for the person that has whatever product you're selling. Like, that's network marketing. And within that, there's tons of tools. You can go hang up door hangers. You can hand out business cards. You can cold market in groups. You can cold call people. Not that you'd ever want to, but I mean, that's what people did years ago. You know, years ago, I remember my mom walking around doing Avon, and like, we were really young. So, I mean, there's many, many ways, and they're literally tools. Cold marketing is a tool, and working in interest and friendship groups is also a tool. But to me, like, I absolutely love it. And I sign up people every single month without ever posting an ad in a friendship or interest group. And it's literally just by building the relationships. So if you are not doing that, like I said, put it in the chat and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But if you are doing that, I suggest that you either go add a couple more, go look for something, you know, something that you're interested in, something that you're passionate about. Go see if, then I've been trying to build, that was my goal, was this now? That's good, Kelly. You're on it. You're on it, sister. Anyways, go join a couple of groups. If you are already doing that and you already have a couple of hot groups, I have a couple of groups that are really personal and I've got these great relationships in them. But I'll tell you, since just moving and being in Florida right now, like, I don't have a team out here. I don't have like people I know out here. I don't have friends out here. I do have friends out here, but like, they're a little bit away. They're not like right next door. And so I'm kind of having to start again with my network because I like a local community. Like I said, I'm a lover and I love friends and I love to do business with friends. I love to run around and do business with people and to meet for coffee and to work together and all this stuff. So I'm having to start all over again. So I'm joining tons of groups out here, you guys, tons, and doing it all over again. So this is something that I'm still doing right now. I've gotten several friends requests. I'm connecting with people for different reasons locally. And basically just through relationship, they will know what I'm doing because I'm very passionate about it. And I'm always talking about it. And it's on my Facebook in some way, shape, or form. So go either join a couple groups. And if you're in a couple that are really super hot and doing really good, then I want you to take a minute and go post in a couple of those groups. So if you're a fisherman, I think we have all ladies on here, but if you're a fisherwoman, I know some women, hey, listen, Kaylee Cyber loves to fish. So if you're in fishing group, you know, go in there and go post something. And then I also want you to go comment on a couple people's stuff. So take a minute, go into these friendship interest groups, go post something, go comment on a couple people's posts, because again, you can't just join these groups, you have to interact with them because friendships don't just fall out of the sky, you have to work at them. And if you take the time and work your at-home business like an actual business, it will pay you like an actual business. You know what I mean? So again, it comes with being intentional. You have to intentionally work at building some relationships because they are online. So it takes a little bit more grooming, if that makes sense, you know, a little bit more interaction. And sorry guys, I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping up on the chat in case anybody is saying anything. So I am actually going to go do that right now in a couple of my groups. And mine are all sizes. I have groups, interest groups with thousands in them. And then I have this group right now, it's got 691 members. It's small, so it's actually more personal and it's easier to connect on a personal level because it is smaller. And I'll tell you what, I've signed up the owner of the group. I've signed up several people inside of the group, either ordering products or as an associate. Just by the relationships inside of the groups and then them seeing what I'm doing on my actual wall and us communicating back and forth. So let me. My stomach's growling. Okay, let me get to this other group. Okay, if you guys are done, just put done down here so I know to kind of move on. Hey, Patricia. What's up, Patty? Okay, so far we've checked our uplines groups or our main training group. We've responded to all of our messages. I do have a couple messages I need to respond to, but they're kind of long. So I'll go back and do that. We've responded to our notifications. We've posted in 3 cold market groups. We've joined 1 or 2 new interest friendship groups. So travel, motorcycle, support group, mom group, something that interests you is what that is. We've sent 2 friends requests to people on the you may know list, but make sure they're not a friend with another team member or a bunch of True Vision people. Okay, if you guys have not made, you know, like, I don't know how much you guys post on your Facebook. Everyone's kind of different. Some people will post once or twice on Facebook. Some people blow it up completely. But I know every morning you should post something on your Facebook. It's just a way of saying, hey guys, I'm here. My store is open. I'm here for business. So basically just so people know that you're active and they're getting like that notification from you in the morning. And then I always try to throw one up in the afternoon, and then I try to throw one up in the evening. So at least 3, that's just me. That's when I would do my cold market posts. That's when I would do and then listen, sometimes I get carried away and I'll put a few more, but I have not made a post on my wall yet. So, and it's 11:39. I'm telling you guys, I had a late start today and I'm not even kidding. So let's go post on our wall. And then we're going to talk a little bit. We'll never have enough time to go through my whole DMO because an hour, I wish like I could go through my whole DMO in an hour. So I'm just kind of trying to pick and choose some of the stuff that we're doing for this morning. But let's go post on our wall. If you guys haven't already done this too, just in case you're not ready to post on your wall again, I don't want you to just sit here staring, waiting. What I want you to do, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna post on our wall if you haven't done it yet, or if you're just looking for another afternoon something. You could even do something, listen, people pay attention to see you working, especially your team. When your team sees you work, they know you're showing up. It sometimes reminds them like, hey, like, my upline's showing up, I should probably show up. You know, it doesn't even hurt if you take a picture when you're doing, you know, your power hours and you're here working with your group like this, you know, take a picture of you doing power hour and post it on your story, post it on your wall, like, you know, working with my tribe this morning or working with my tribe this afternoon or power hour, here we come, something, you know what I mean? Because again, like I said, people see you showing up. People are attracted to motivation, inspiration, and things like that because it's literally an attractive quality. It just is because it's strong, it's attractive, and people, if you're a strong person, you're attracted to that. If you're in a spot where you're at a low, it's attractive to see that and you're drawing towards it because you're at a low. So, you know, when people see you showing up, it's attractive. It just is, you know, so always keep that in your mind. You let people see you show up, so you are providing an influence that's showing up, if that makes any sense. So post on your wall. Hold on. Let's go through our happy birthday. So if you haven't done that, look through, see who's got a birthday today. I myself, though, like to send like I'll usually send 2. So if I see it's somebody's birthday, I will either do a video and send it to them. I'll do a voice message and send it to them, but I'll usually do like happy birthday written out, send it, and then a happy birthday in my voice message or something, or send them a picture, something. I don't know why I do that sometimes, but I always feel like, because people get swamped on their birthdays. So sometimes even I don't feel like it hurts if you actually skip to the next day, because birthday messages on somebody's walls get lost. So if you're not going to send it through Messenger, I personally think it's more effective when you send it the next day. It kind of sucks. I mean, if they're your close friend, your family, send it on their birthday, but maybe just actually call them or text them. But because it gets so lost, Facebook clumps it all together, and then it's like, 200,000, 300,000, birthday messages. But when you send it the next day and say, hey, Kelly, like I seen it was your birthday yesterday. I'm so sorry. It was a crazy day for me. I missed it, but I don't want you to think I wasn't thinking about you, or that that you weren't important. So I just wanted to take a minute and tell you happy birthday, and I hope your day was amazing yesterday. It still is thoughtful, and chances are they're probably going to see it. So post something, go look through your birthdays. Anniversaries too, yep, anniversaries is a great one. I mean, really, you guys, anything that gives you the opportunity or a reason to reach out to somebody, that's engagement. And that's the thing, like, Facebook is ran on an algorithm. And so you might be posting on your Facebook all the time, but if you don't make it a priority to cause engagement with your people, to cause engagement to your wall, you're going to basically have the same, small group of people always seeing your Facebook. But you want to do more than that. You want to, cause engagement to where you're going to have new faces, and Facebook is going to be rotating like the people that are seeing your stuff, if that makes any sense. So, like going in and, sending people messages for their birthdays and interacting on people's walls and happy anniversaries and things like that. I mean, it's great engagement, and it's a great reason to reach out to somebody and to open up that line of communication again. And the good news is that Facebook reminds you that it's happening. So it's something that you can count on every day. If you make the time to check it. If you make the time to check it, Facebook has it all done for you. All you have to do is literally message them. Yes, I promise you. Me and my girlfriend Allie, we were doing some work yesterday, and so we were on a Zoom, and we were talking to each other. And our big thing yesterday, what we were talking about was engagement. Engagement is huge, 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 huge. So, like I always say, before I do, like if corporate is going to put out, if they're putting out a new product, if they're doing something that's super exciting, or they have a special for us, or your team is doing something really super amazing, you want the algorithm on your Facebook to be very open and to have a lot of eyes on it. So I like to go and do like high engagement posts before announcing something big. So that way you have a lot of interaction going on, and not the same day, because your Facebook will also fight for attention on posts. I don't know if you guys know that, it's insane. But if you make a really big post that's getting a lot of attention, you want to kind of wait till that dies off a bit before you do something else. So if I know we're going to have like a big launch tomorrow or something, then, or even today, I might make a really high engagement post in the morning, something like Kelly said, show me your pets for love, your pet day. People love to show their pets. Listen, people also love to post selfies. Listen, I hope you guys post selfie stuff, because I'm looking for a reason to post selfies. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love duck lips. We can laugh at it all day long, and I love it. So, put something, like post a selfie, or engagement posts like, there's ones like, which house do you prefer? Do you prefer cardio or weightlifting? Do you something, like that really gets people on different ends of the spectrum, and they'll be really, it just kind of helps your post take off. It's a very big engagement post. It's like a question where they're choosing one or the other type thing, or where they're posting a selfie of themselves, or they're posting about their pets. I will choose to do that like in the morning. and do a high engagement post that really gets things going. So the algorithm on your Facebook is very open, because it's basically telling Facebook that whatever you're doing is important. And then either put, your, big special you have going on, or your whatever it is that's going on that's big that you really want people to see, either do it later that night when everything kind of dies off here, or like the next morning, because you don't want your two posts to fight for each other and for the attention. You want to use your engagement post to open up the algorithm on your Facebook. And then you want to post something, that's really hot that you really want people to see when this dies down. And now you're going to blast them with this, if that makes sense. I promise you guys, it helps. And one other thing, because I've said this a million times, and every time I do a power hour, I always say this, so you guys might know it, but if you don't, then I want you to hear it, because it's actually super important. Whenever you make a post, you have to like your own post. Like it, love it, wow it, whatever you want to do to it, you have to interact with your own post. So when you post on your Facebook wall, and if you haven't done this or you don't understand it, test the theory. I promise you, 100%, it's the way it is. If you make a post on your wall and you don't like it or love it or whatever, it's like this percentage of your audience sees what you've posted. The minute you like it, love it, whatever, it's like it opens up like this. You will all of a sudden get so many more eyes on it. I could pretend that I know why. I don't. Something with the algorithm, I'm guessing. I don't know. At first, I used to laugh. I'm like, I bet you people think I really like myself a lot. I just really love myself. I'm always liking my own stuff and tooting my own horn. It's actually just for the algorithm and the engagement. I mean, we want to make the most out of everything that we're doing. So when you post something, immediately go like it and love it. And the cool part is if it gets a really good response, you can come back to it a couple days. You can come back to it in a week if you need to, and you can unlike it and re-like it again, and you'll get all new eyes on it again. It's crazy. So especially if it's something you really want to get out there and you really want people to see, make sure you're taking advantage of that, because like I said, you can unlike it and re-like it again. And when people are commenting on your stuff, they say once your post gets 10 comments, it opens up the algorithm even more. So be kind of mindful of that, because if you post something and you have people commenting, let that kind of, maybe quiet a second, and then, do a couple replies, and then wait a minute and see if it gets more eyes on there, because it usually does. And then, when you then maybe comment on a couple more, and just kind of trickle it down, so it's just kind of keeps opening up and you get more and more response, and more people are getting notification of it as it's happening. It really is being intentional with what you're doing. I know it's crazy, and a lot of it just seems like, oh my gosh, but when you actually get into it and start doing it and understand the way it works, it just becomes second nature in how you post and how you respond and what you do. So hopefully that helped if you guys didn't know any of that stuff. Okay, so is everybody done? And so, we kind of talked a little bit about, earlier about how, you want to get love, to give love, and different things like that. And hopefully all of you guys are taking advantage of your stories, and hopefully a lot of you guys are posting on your stories and really using that, because the awesome part is you can't see whose eyes are on your Facebook unless they like it or love it or whatever, But the cool part about stories is you can see who's seen it, who responded to it. It's really freaking awesome. And I love that. So just remember, if you have the same people that are constantly looking at your stories, they're showing up for you, so try to make it a point, if you have to keep a list, if you have to, be mindful, just be, like I said, be mindful of that, keep a list, do whatever you need to do. And, take a little bit of time and go to their story, give them some love, share, comment on some of their stuff, because whatever it is that you're posting that's bringing them to your story all the time, you've got their attention, so keep it. If you got their attention on stories, likely you could possibly, but if not, have their attention on your wall. And if not, see those people that are commenting on your stories, or just looking at it, because you can't hide when you see someone's stories, it says it, So like I said, if you have the same people that are showing up, but you never see them on your wall, go to their wall. you know, go comment on some of their stuff, show them some love, go to their stories, watch it, comment on it, you know, like, and watch how much more they show up, watch how much more they'll start engaging. Cause you know, you, like I said, you have to give love to get love. And you know, it's an itchy, scratchy world out there, and people like it. You know, they like to see you showing up for them, especially if they're showing up for you. And then just keep in your mind, they're watching what you're doing for a reason, and they're liking or showing up for whatever it is. Okay, so what do we want to do next? You know, I don't know if you guys post in stories at night. I tend to like to post my stories, like to kind of get it set up at night. Sorry, I'm just catching some of these on the side. So hopefully you guys are doing that, posting your stories. But if I set up, you know, because it's 24 hours. So if I set up my story like at night to basically run through the next day, I still will add stuff kind of in between as things unfold throughout the day, because I just think it's kind of fun. I'm like a story fanatic. I just love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's take a few minutes and, like I said, go comment on some friends' stories. Let's go look through some stories and show some people love. Do that to at least, we don't have a lot of time, so let's just do it to 5 friends' stories. Like or love them. I'm gonna go to, it literally doesn't take very long to go to the stories and, you know, click through, see who we got going on over here. Do some love. Ew. And then you see this weird stuff. Gosh, some things are terrible. Okay. Is everybody done with stories? We still have like 6 more minutes. Okay, so let me see what I want to kind of maybe close up with. I'm going to encourage you guys, if you do not have, is there anybody that's on here that does not have like their podcast set up? Like you don't have like an app for a podcast on your phone, you're not listening to podcasts, because I really, really highly recommend it. Again, it comes back to personal development, which I think is super important. And it's really easy, you know, just to like I have like, can you guys see it on here? I don't know if you can see it. This like, I'm like, oh, see this like purple podcast app. It's just on there. You can literally search and find so much good stuff, you guys. And I promise you, like, spending time filling up your cup is going to be such a game changer. I really wish, like, when I first started doing this, that somebody really taught me that. Or that I heard it. Like, I mean, podcasts weren't huge when I first started, but there was, you know, like YouTube videos, and I did watch those and things like that. And there was a lot of lives, but there's so many ways to get good content that you can listen to, because nobody can do what we do and deal with, you know, so many people, and, you know, with like your team stuff also comes, you know, personal stuff and life stuff. And you literally become like a life coach and a health and wellness coach, and you become everything when you get into this industry, when you're really working. And, you know, sometimes your cup can be very empty really quick if you're not pouring into yourself. And so you have to make sure to keep yourself full, so that way, you know, you're at full octane and you can, you know, give everything that you have to your team, to your customers, to your potentials, and you can be functioning at a very, you know, like high octane type speed or rate or whatever you want to say. So I really encourage you guys, make sure that you get some type of podcast app on your phone or something, get some headphones, spend some time. You know, to me, if you only have 15 minutes, you only have 15 minutes, but I really encourage you guys to at least try to get in 30 minutes a day of some type of personal development. Just try. In fact, I mean, 15 minutes, if that's all you have, 15 minutes, but really if you could do 30, don't even try. I'm not even going to say try. I'm going to say do it, because I wish that that was something that I was told to do. Like, if you could do anything for yourself and anything for your business, keep your cup full. Like, I mean, you could be as badass and bougie as you think you are, and as strong as you think you are, but nobody can function without filling their cup. You know what I mean? Like, when you're dry, and life, business, everything is ebb and flow. It's up, it's high, it's down, it's low. It's just the way it is. And you know, like, you want to make sure that you have something pulling you through and giving you strength and offering you, you know, ideas and motivation and inspiration when you're at a low end and when you're at a high. So make sure that you are investing in yourself, so that way you can invest in others, and that you're definitely spending time doing personal development. That is honestly my number one thing. Like, I wish that was something that I practiced when I very first started. So, okay, so we're commenting on stories. Make sure that you guys are commenting. Like, I have on here, comment on 20 friends' statuses or photos. That's just something I try to go through at least every day. Obviously we only have a minute or a couple minutes. So I'm not going to tell you guys to go, but, you know, make a note. If you're not doing that, it's something that you need to be doing. Make sure that you're commenting and on people's pictures. Again, it's engagement, it's interaction, it's relational. And then something I have on here weekly, so it's something that I do, is make sure, like, at the end of, you know, like, spend, you know, whether it's on a Sunday or if it's something you do on Mondays, you know, if on Mondays you take Monday and you go all the way back to, you know, last Monday or whatever, and look through all your messages to make sure that there's nothing that you've neglected that you need to come back to. Because I don't know if this has happened to you guys, and if it hasn't, it will. You know, how many times have you been in the middle of messaging somebody and you meant to send, or you thought you sent it? Because that happens to me a lot, and it didn't actually send. You know, what if you're leaving a customer hanging, or, you know, you're in the middle of it, and then one of your kids comes up and starts talking, and then the phone rings, and then, you know, like, something else happened, and you don't mean to, but you're human. You don't mean to not respond or not send that message, but the next thing you know, by the time you get back to it, you have like 1,000 other messages, and it's gone. So I like to, you know, like, Sundays, or if you're a Monday person or whatever, you know, go back and just go all the way back to the beginning of that week and make sure, like, catch yourself up. Just make sure, do a second scroll, and make sure that you haven't missed a message, missed a response, and that you don't need to reach out to somebody. And don't be afraid to call yourself out, because to that person, like, it's not a bad thing. It's a human thing, because that's one thing that we definitely all have in common. We're all humans. And so, you know, like, if you seen that, you know, you missed something with Jennifer last week and you meant to send it, there's nothing wrong saying, hey, Jennifer, oh my gosh, I just checked my messages and seen this never sent. Or I went to message you back and I got distracted because my daughter started talking to me, and you know how life gets, but I don't want you to think that you're not important, because you are. So anyways, I want to answer your question, or, you know, here's the, you know, if it's a link or something, here's the link. I meant to send it to you. I'm so sorry. And you don't even, like, say it like it is. Call yourself out, because you want a person to think that they're important. And it is okay to say, I'm human. I screwed up. I made a mistake. Or, you know, I thought I sent it. So I even do that. when I'm talking to new people. So when I'm talking to new people, and I've sent somebody a message, say I talked to a person today and they said they're interested, blah, blah, blah. You know, I sent them some information or whatever your process is. And, you know, they said, you know, I'll get back to you in a couple of days or however it left off. I sometimes take it on myself and make it kind of like a me thing. And, you know, we'll wait a couple of days. Maybe they said they're going to get back to me on Friday. So Saturday and Sunday might come around and I'll reach back out to them. Hey, so-and-so, like, I'm so sorry. It was a crazy week. I don't want you to think I forgot about you, but so I wanted to make sure I reached back out. But did you get a chance to, you know, look through the website? Are you still interested in that same pack that I sent you the link for? Is there anything I can help you with? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I always put it back on me so they don't feel like, oh, this person's bugging me. It comes off a little bit different. And so it's just something I've always done. And so there's kind of that too. So let me just give you guys one more thing. Well, so weekly, go back through all messages from the prior week. One thing I'm going to tell you guys about stories, and then I'll let you guys go. This is what I've noticed, and I think I said this on my last Power Hour on something I was doing, I don't remember, but when you're setting up your story, always be super mindful of the first picture in your story, because you know when you go to the top on your Facebook, like that's what you see. You see a person's first picture that's on their story. That's what shows up. That's what everyone sees. That's what makes you click on it or not, or, you know, whatever. But always try to be super, super mindful of your first picture on your story. I have this guy that's on my Facebook, and this is what I think I might have said on another Power Hour on something I was doing, and he cracks me up. He's in another company, and I don't suggest you doing this, but it works for him, and it totally cracks me up. He will post, like, his first picture every time is some hot chick in like a bikini or something else, and it'll say, he'll like have a picture of it, and on it it'll say something like, "This is just a test," or "Now that I have your attention." And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I was messaging with him, and he's like, it works. It works. People click on it and then they see your stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But it just kind of like reiterated that whole thing of like, you know, your first picture being something that grabs. It grabs attention and it begins your story. So you don't want to lose people right off the bat. So use something, you know, use a selfie of you. Use something that's very attractive and very catchy to capture people's attention. So that way they will want to click on your story and they will want to see what's coming next. So you don't have to go blasting bikini pictures all over your story, but I'm just saying be kind of mindful of the first picture on your story. And then kind of, you know, trickle it. You're welcome, Archie. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. And I love you guys. Thank you for just being on here. And yeah, we will talk to you guys later. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. Do something awesome for yourself. Aw, you're sweet, Kelly. Give yourself a hug for me. Okay, love you guys. You have a great weekend.